All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to talk about IGN. Now, I always take every opportunity to make fun of IGN because let's be real, man. IGN is a walking meme at this point. This company is so obvious in their bias that it actually is kind of disgusting. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, there's bias and then there's like blatantly in your face bias. So everybody's talking about this post on Twitter, okay? And it's from IGN that says, "What's your game of the year so far? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is still the IGN community's top game of 2024, with Shadow the Erdtree, Helldivers 2, and Astrobot not far behind. Check out this IGN playlist of the full top 25. Now, when you look at this playlist, okay, you look at this and you think to yourself, something's missing. Something is really off about this playlist. Now, don't worry. If you're asking yourself that question and thinking, am I crazy? Don't worry. You're not crazy. There is, in fact, something missing. And that would be Black Myth Wukong, ladies and gentlemen, which is pretty damn obvious considering what's been going down. Now, we have a post. We have a couple of posts we're going to go over in this video, so just stick with me. There's a post here on Twitter, and it says, again, they're retweeting the Game of the Year one, and they're showcasing that on the left here, if you look at this picture on the left, you're going to notice that every game that was in this picture on the right is here on the left, except for the number one game, which is Black Myth Wukong, by almost 20% more than every other game. Black Myth Wukong has absolutely been destroying it, and IGN purposely left it out of their post because it goes against that sweet, sweet narrative. So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, guys, again, I want you to realize IGN is a walking meme, okay? We all know that. Nobody takes IGN seriously. Not a single fucking person that I know on this planet, aside from those with blue hair. And I'm sorry if you're normal with blue hair, but unfortunately they've co-opted your choice of hair color. They are absolutely a walking meme, and their bias is so obvious that they'll try to pretend as if it's not, and that's what makes it even more insulting to people like myself. So we have a post here, and it says, "BIGN, make a public vote system to get Game of the Year 2024. You hate the winner, so you just denied that the game ever existed." So they're getting laughed at. They're getting literally fucking roasted. And again, just to make the picture a little bit bigger so that you understand, they had every game here in this photo, but purposely chose to leave out Black Myth Wukong. And guys, we all saw this coming, okay? If you guys watched any of my previous videos, you'll realize that we all saw this coming. We knew this was going to happen, that they were going to skew the results, that they were going to try to pretend as if Black Myth Wukong doesn't exist, and they were going to completely ignore the game if they can get away with it, right? That's the entire point of this. They were going to try to do this to try to get away with it. Now, guys, Black Myth Wukong has been absolutely killing it. If you guys look at this picture here, it was voted at 90.3%, okay? What an insane number. 90.3%, it was destroying it. Somebody actually made a graph here showcasing the numbers with the duels, the percentage won, and everything like that, and Black Myth Wukong is absolutely killing it. Now, here's the thing. Here's where it starts to become extremely sus, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Where IGN is purposefully fucking with the algorithm for the win ratio for Black Myth Wukong to make it drop down, right? Because they don't want this game to succeed. So what ended up happening? You have people tracking the win percentage of Black Myth Wukong in real time. People are making charts like this in real time, and they're showcasing the different games. You got Black Myth Wukong at number 1, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Helldivers 2, and Astrobot, okay? If you look at the numbers here, Black Myth Wukong was at 90%, okay, at this time. And then, not just 3 hours later, it started to massively drop, all right? Because at some point within these 3 hours, they manipulated the win percentage ratio to drop this game down as much as it possibly can be dropped unnaturally, right? This thing is, it's like a Joe Biden vote, right? And then what ended up happening is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, if you look at all the other ones, right, none of them are being affected in the same manner, right? Nobody else is being affected in the same manner. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has been consistently, for the most part, at 71 some odd percent and slowly dropping, but really not that crazy, right? Not that insane. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree has been slowly on the rise and little bit has gone up, okay? So if you look here from 68 to 71, not too crazy, pretty consistent, right? Helldivers 2 has been stagnant at around 66%, okay? And then you have Astrobot, which has been stagnant at around 67%. It was at 66 here, and then it went slightly up. The only game on this list that has dropped by 20 fucking percent, okay? 18% actually, but I'm sure it'll be 20% or more by the time this video goes live, is Black Myth Wukong. And the only way that is possible, ladies and gentlemen, is through absolute fuckery, okay? This is a prime example of IGN trying to cheat their own system because they cannot and they will not let Black Myth Wukong become Game of the Year. It is a prime example of fraud. This company is a fraud. There is no doubt about it. They are scamming you. They are scamming everyone. And we knew they were going to do that, right? I don't care because I don't go to IGN for my Game of the Year, right? I don't go to them for my gaming information. I don't know of anybody that goes to them for their gaming information on a mass scale like that anymore. But IGN is trying to still lie to the few people they have left who watch their product, right? And it's such a fucking shame because, again, the bias is so out there and obvious for everybody to see, and it was caught in real time. Literally caught in real time. You could just look at it, look at the times, and it got even more blatant because, again, they did something here in the first 3 hours, and then once it hit 17:04, every few minutes it started to massively drop. That's fucking impossible. That's literally impossible. They kept playing with the ratios to try to bring the game down purposefully so that it doesn't win Game of the Year. Listen, Monkey King is too strong for them. Flat out. Monkey King is too strong, which is why everybody's laughing at them. And they know it. They had it all planned because they didn't put the game in this post. Okay, guys, if you are making a post like this and you're talking about, your top games of the year and what the community is voting, why would you leave out number one? Isn't it obvious? Like, why would you leave out number one from this post? It's because number one destroys your narrative, right? It destroys your narrative about representation and inclusion and all that bullshit. It completely destroys your narrative. Everybody knows that shit doesn't matter in order to try to gain a mass audience. Black Myth Wukong was a narrative destroyer. That's what we call games like that. And it was also a great game on top of that, too. This is why it had 2.5 million players on Steam. Concurrent, by the way. I think it's like 18 million copies. And just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'll end it with this. Even if Black Myth Wukong does not win Game of the Year from IGN, from the Game Awards, whatever, it won't, by the way. It's not going to win Game of the Year from any of these companies. It's all going to be Dragon Age the Veilguard, probably. But still, if Black Myth Wukong doesn't win Game of the Year, I'll put it to you like this. Just like Hogwarts Legacy, where it was $1 billion game, and it truly won at the end of the year, guess what? Black Myth Wukong is also $1 billion game on a $70 million budget. Guess who won? They won. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.